Rockstar has created one of the biggest, scratch that, the biggest video game franchise of all time with Grand Theft Auto. From Liberty City to Vice City to San Andreas, the worlds these guys cook up are second to none even after 25 years. Now, after the announcement that GTA 6 was being delayed from 2025 to 2026, I decided to go back and refamiliarize myself with the series by replaying every single game over again and personally rank them from worst to best. And I mean all of them, including the spin-offs and the first two games before the series even went 3D. So without further ado, let's get started. Grand Theft Auto Advance, a top-down handheld throwback for the Game Boy Advance in 2004, long after Rockstar ditched the style in favor of 3D. Essentially a prequel to the events of Grand Theft Auto 3, though not by much as the game is mainly mission and gameplay structured above all else. 300 missions, but not a lot of substance. Play only if you want to experience like the novelty of it all. Grand Theft Auto, London 1969. I'm about to go on a limb and guess that many of you probably don't even know this game exists. Well, to be fair, it's not a full game, but an expansion to the original Grand Theft Auto. Now, while every other GTA game takes place in fictional cities based on real cities, like Liberty City to New York City, Los Santos to Los Angeles, or Vice City to Miami, this expansion actually takes place in London. While it's nice to see a different, landmark for once, it's still just an expansion for the original game. Grand Theft Auto, the game that started it all. If only we all could see what this little baby would eventually evolve into just a few years down the line. A top-down, mission-based experience where players steal cars to reach the end of a level. Grand Theft Auto 1 was mostly about running people over and evading cops. If you would allow me to make a direct comparison of what this franchise would eventually become, it would be Fast and Furious. This game series and that movie series started with a basic concept. This was about stealing cars. Fast and Furious was about racing. As time went on, both evolved way past the title concept and went absolutely crazy with later entries. While basic, the original Grand Theft Auto is worth a look if you're curious to see where it all started. Grand Theft Auto 2. Essentially the same as the first game, the game did introduce several features and improvements to the series. You can save during levels, you have 3 syndicates you can do jobs for, increasing your standing with each. Vehicles and pedestrians, they're a little bit more interactive with the game's environment, such as like gang members actually like engaging with fights with the police. And the infamous hidden packages, rear their head here, with some being found on each level. Some people may put the first over this, but this is slightly better for me personally. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. Originally released for the Nintendo DS, this game did eventually find its way to PSP and iOS as well. This is the first time the series went back to top-down gameplay like the first two games, and it is the last to do so. As the title implies, Chinatown Wars delves deeper into the world of the Triads, one of the many criminal factions that have appeared on the sidelines throughout the series. It is yet another small-time, criminal, making it big, con criminal, making it big in the underworld, but the main attraction is Chinatown Wars' novel use of touch controls, as the DS is still the best system to play this game on. The game also used, a cel-shaded graphic style, which has aged beautifully and first for the series, although the PSP and iOS version forego this and they kind of opt for a more traditional art style instead. There are some differences here compared to other games, like you can lose your wanted level by destroying the cop cars instead of using a pay or spray or, like a bribe star, for instance. But if you were ever curious on what the original games kind of played like, but want a more modern experience with a better story and gameplay, try this out first. You won't be disappointed. Grand Theft Auto 3. The game that turned this somewhat decent franchise into the biggest juggernaut of all time. The switch from top-down to full-on 3D may be one of the best decisions a game company has ever made. Everyone that even plays games casually, to people who have never touched a video game in their life, probably knows the name Grand Theft Auto, and they owe it all to this little guy right here. Taking inspiration from Goodfellas and The Sopranos, the story, while very simplistic due to the protagonist Claude being a silent protagonist, still is fun to play today. However, the game really hasn't aged as well compared to its successors, as the missions are very bare bone and quick to complete. Cutscenes are like maybe 10 seconds max of someone just asking you to do something real quick. Still, this game deserves all the praise, not for what it is, but for everything that it inspired that came after. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. The first game for the nostalgic, beloved PSP. Oh, how I miss you, little guy. Liberty City Stories fits Grand Theft Auto 3's whole open world into a handheld package without the need to return to the series' top-down roots. Expanding the world of GTA 3, it features several reoccurring characters, including Salvatore Leone, the Mafia Don, and playable protagonist this time around, Tony Cipriani, a skinnier, slightly younger version of the guy who gives you some missions in Grand Theft Auto 3. Though the game has the same world as GTA 3, it also incorporates elements found in Grand Theft Auto 3's successors, such as more indoor environments, clothing changes, and motorcycles. The PSP version of the game also included a multiplayer mode through a wireless ad hoc network, which allowed up to 6 players to engage in several different game modes. If you want to explore Grand Theft Auto 3's map, I'd recommend this game over it, as the silent protagonist trope has worn out its welcome in this day and age of gaming. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. The second portable GTA game returns to Rockstar's version of Miami for a prequel to the 1980s game Vice City. This time playing Vic, the older brother of Lance Vance, who you meet in that game. If you'll recall, Vic also dies at the beginning of that game in The Drug Deal Gone Bad. In addition to the traditional gameplay elements and side missions of the series, this game also features a unique empire building system in which players, you have to expand your criminal syndicate from the ground up by you take over businesses from rival organizations, and you complete specific missions for each of them to increase their income and unlock additional rewards, sort of like the property missions in Vice City. The lock-on system for aiming was improved, and generally the overall gameplay experience is just better than Liberty City Stories. 80s Miami aesthetic just holds a deep nostalgic place in my heart, and who doesn't want to see an in-game model of Phil Collins? Grand Theft Auto 4 The Lost and Damned. The first expansion to Grand Theft Auto 4, we take on the role of Johnny Klebitz, a member of the biker game The Lost in Liberty City. Now, story-wise, this game runs concurrent to what's going on in the main game of Grand Theft Auto 4. The main storyline of this episode focuses on Johnny's efforts to keep the chapter running, while dealing with internal conflicts, gang warfare, drug running, and, various problems and enemies that arise. Now, while this expansion included and is now a staple for the series, mid-mission checkpoints. And let me tell you, I hope they never go away. There is nothing more frustrating than doing a 10-minute mission or so, and then something stupid happens, or you die or get arrested, and you gotta start the whole damn thing over again. While Johnny isn't the most charismatic protagonist, he holds his own in this series and comes with some unique gameplay improvements, like being able to ride with a posse of bikers and being the most proficient player character on any motorcycle. It's just a shame how Rockstar treated him and the entire lost chapter of bikers in Grand Theft Auto 5. Such a weird decision for me. Grand Theft Auto 4 The Ballad of Gay Tony. The second DLC expansion for Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony, once again takes place alongside the events of the main game and the Lost and Damned expansion, but it also expands upon the gameplay in key ways. The game follows Luis Fernando Lopez, a Dominican-American former drug dealer who now works as bodyguard and business partner to nightclub owner and manager Anthony Gay Tony Prince. Now, The Ballad of Gay Tony also features like side jobs for players to earn money. Like these are, like drug wars, triathlon races. You can manage the nightclubs, entering an underground fight tournament, and, base jumping, with parachutes. This DLC is considered one of, if not the best of that generation of HD consoles in the PS3 360 era, and still holds its own today as some of the most favorite moments and stuff for anybody that plays Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. We're starting to get into the nitty-gritty here, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this choice and may dislike the video if they made it this far. I love San Andreas. I played it to death as a young teen and still hold it in very high regard. I find CJ compelling and hilarious with some of the funniest lines in the series. However, some of the gameplay additions make me turn my head. While I enjoy the aspects of what you can do with CJ to increase his personal stats, like muscle mass by working out, or getting fat by eating a lot, even the new girlfriend system, I just hate the gang war stuff. Always constantly managing what parts of the map are green before the ballers keep coming back to take it over, spray painting graffiti, that damn mission late in the game where you need a specific oxygen level to complete, so you have to waste time constantly diving underwater to build up your breathing stats. Shit like that holds it back a bit for me. I love everything else. The world of San Andreas, Grove Street, the very diverse locations the game takes you to. It's all great. It's just held back by a few things for me personally. I mean, I like the jetpack and the jets and all that. I love all of it. It's just, while many consider this the best of the PS2 ever, of that era, and one of the best games ever made, I still feel that way, but one other game beat it purely for nostalgia, which is coming up next. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Yes, the 1980s Miami Vice type game that holds strong with nostalgia for me. The first game to feature a voice protagonist, and they literally couldn't have done any better than fucking Ray Liotta as Tommy Vercetti in this game.
You have my personal assurance that I'm going to get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm going to mail you the dicks of those responsible.
After spending 15 years in the can, Tommy is released down south in 1986 to keep him away from Liberty City and the crime families up there, so we can make money for them away from prying eyes. Tommy takes matters into his own hands, however, and after a deal goes wrong, and systematically starts taking over the city for himself. The game's plot is based on multiple real-world people and events in Miami, such as Cubans, the Haitians, biker gangs, the 1980s crack epidemic, the mafioso, like the drug lords of Miami, and, the appearance and dominance of, like, glam metal in music back in the day. The game was also influenced by films and television of the era, most notably Scarface and Miami Vice. You have the beautiful location of Vice City, essentially 1980s Miami, and all the catchy as hell radio stations and music to go along with it. Property management is a must here, where if you have enough to buy specific properties, like a car dealership, a porn movie studio, an undercover ice cream truck operation masquerading as a drug front, and so on, you get missions from them as well to eventually complete the asset and earn money that you can collect every few in-game hours. You can, you're essentially building up Tommy's empire story-wise and gameplay-wise. I have replayed this game so many damn times that my recent playthrough, doing every single mission, every single property mission, and just messing around, even like delivering pizzas and so on, took me only around like 9.5 hours. Then again, I do know this game like the back of my hand, so, I was still kind of disappointed by its length, but maybe I should have collected all 100 packages again. But, I'll probably save that for my next inevitable playthrough of this masterpiece of a game. Grand Theft Auto 5. The last Grand Theft Auto game we've had, released all the way back in 2013, if you can believe it, for PS3 and Xbox 360. Yes, the game has been improved and released on subsequent PlayStation and Xbox consoles, but this is at its heart a 7th-gen game and part of the HD era of GTA games. Primarily a story of a criminal crew comprising Michael DeSanta, Trevor Phillips, and Franklin Clinton in modern-day Los Santos and its neighboring regions. New to the game, and probably a staple going forward with the franchise, at least for GTA 6 with its 2 revealed protagonists, is the ability to freely switch between the 3 characters outside of missions, and even on some missions when they're also present, all who have their own contacts and safe houses and very distinct personalities. The amount of things you can do in this game is staggering. From just driving around, to playing golf or tennis, to off-road racing, to street racing, to climbing to the top of Mount Chiliad just to jump off and parachute back down, hunting, triathlons, taking pictures of wildlife, etc., etc. The variety and amount of things to do is second to none, and may only be topped by GTA 6 itself. The acting by all involved is phenomenal, and probably the best in the series. The game also broke industry sales records and became the fastest-selling entertainment product in history, earning $800 million in its first day and $1 billion in its first 3 days. It is the second best-selling video game of all time, with 215 million copies shipped, and one of the most financially successful entertainment products ever, with nearly $10 billion in worldwide revenue. See if you can top that, GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto 4. This game may not be on anybody else's top list, and you'd probably be right, but for me it is. The first time GTA went full HD in 2008, and at the time the fastest selling game ever, telling the story of Eastern European war veteran and immigrant Niko Bellic, one of GTA's best protagonists and my personal favorite. This is by far the darkest story of the series, almost to the point of satire on like the American dream that Niko's cousin Roman is always boasting about. I know a lot of people dog on the phone calls of people wanting to hang out all the time, but that's one of the things I kind of liked about the game as well, and it made it feel, more real to me. Who doesn't want to go, bowling with Niko's cousin Roman? This was movie quality storytelling at its best, and players are also faced with morality choices which alter the storyline appropriately depending on the player's choice, including the final heartbreaking mission. I know a lot of people won't put this game at the top of their list, but a lot of people will put Niko at the top as like best protagonist. This is a game I strive to replay at least once a year, and will probably continue to do so for some time. Will GTA 6 finally be the one to dethrone it, and with like Vice City setting all over again? Maybe. But as of now, Niko's game still reigns supreme for me, and is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game of all time. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my personal ranking of every single Grand Theft Auto game. I didn't put GTA Online here because I don't really play online for these kind of games like Red Dead or GTA, but I hear they are really, really good. Anyways, thanks so much if you made it this far into the video. I really do appreciate every one of you. Thanks for liking, watching, commenting, and subscribing. Talk to you next time.